Good morning, students. Thanks for the great start of the school year. One of the things that we do at the beginning of every school year is take some time to talk about our student code of conduct. The code of conduct, which is found in the student and parent handbook, discusses appropriate student behavior. It's very important that you listen carefully during this presentation. Heartland Middle School is an exceptional place to go to school. We have a great community. We have high expectations for you, the students at Heartland Middle School, and you live up to those expectations. A recent sub who has experienced subbing in the county said that Heartland Middle School students were the best behaved students he had experienced. People from outside of our community frequently share how impressed they are by the conduct and behavior of our students. Heartland Middle School is a great place to go to school. But we're not perfect, and we all need direction and reinforcement from time to time. The Code of Conduct provides that direction and reinforcement. Mr. Chanavir and I are going to take a few minutes to share some of the specifics about our Code of Conduct. In short, the expectation is that Heartland Middle School students will behave in a manner that supports a positive learning environment for all students. That's for all students. The student handbook details behaviors that may take away from that environment. The complete Code of Conduct can be found in the student parent handbook located on the school website. During registration, you and your parents signed off on this handbook. To start, we're just going to go through some basic things and rules. First thing is that we want Heartland Middle School to look great. You need to do your part in keeping rooms and the hallways clean. Clean up after yourself in the cafeteria. Food and drinks stay in the cafeteria unless you have prior approval. No gum in the building. We've tried to allow students to chew gum, but it just never works. Ends up with gum all over the floor and under desks and things of that sort. In order to keep the school cleaned, we have to realize that we're all in this together. Senator Levin made a visit to the high school a few years ago, and as he was walking through the hall, he picked up a piece of trash. And I remember Principal Hughes saying to him, "Senator Levin, you don't have to do that." And his response was, "No, we're all in this together. So as we do our part, we'll keep the school clean." Honesty is the best policy. Do not cheat in any manner. In falsifying or completing and recording any of your schoolwork. Do not forge anything. If you have notes that have to come back to school and you represent your parents' name on it falsely, it's not good. It's going to not reflect well on you, and you're going to have to pay the consequence. Tell the truth. When adults ask you questions, tell the truth. Your word is your word. Your work is your work. Follow that to a T, and things will go well for you. Be in the right place at the right time. If you're not, you're considered to be either tardy or truant. You have 4 minutes for passing time. Get to class on time. If you need to go to the bathroom and you're there for an extended period of time, make sure you're letting the teacher know. If you don't, you're considered to be truant. After school supervision policy, you're not allowed to stay after school in the building unless you have supervision, unless you're there for sports or tutoring or something of that sort. We have a dress code. I know it's not your favorite thing, but I'm going to let you know why. You act the way you dress. If you go to a formal, like a wedding, you dress in a certain way and you act in a certain way. If you're going to the beach, you act in a certain way too. How you dress is how you act. We dress for the occasion, we dress for success, we dress for confidence. You're familiar with the dress code, but I'm going to review it again. All tops must have a sleeve. Clothing must not have holes. See-through or sheer fabric from the fingertip length and above. Clothes resembling pajamas and slippers are not allowed. Bare midriffs or low-cut tops are not allowed. Exposed underclothing is not allowed. No hats or hoodies on your head. No costumes. Naturally, there are days when we deviate from this, if we've got Halloween or a special day, a dress-up day. But these are the rules. You wake up in the morning, check yourself in the mirror, make sure you're in sync. Otherwise, you're going to be sent to the office. We have an electronic device policy. We're all tied to our cell phones. Cell phones are an integral part of our lives. It's tough to go day to day without our cell phones, but they can be a distraction too. So, the basic rule: they're not allowed, or they're allowed before school, after school, and at lunch, or with teacher permission. Otherwise, they need to be off and out of sight. Students violating this policy will have their phones sent to the office for parent pickup and/or detention. We have an electronic, we have a camera policy, and that is that in no place in this school should you be pulling out your phone to use it as a camera, or use a camera of any sort anywhere in this building. It just should not ever happen unless you have permission, and that's going to be a very rare situation. When you pull out your phone to use it as a camera, it's always going to result in consequences and an unpleasant experience for you and for your friends. Respect of school staff. You need to do what adults tell you to do here in this building. You have to follow directions. Your teachers are, spend a lot of time preparing their lessons, and if you do things that get in the way of that, that's called disrupting the educational process. There are consequences that go with that, and the consequences are detention or suspension. So do what teachers tell you to do, and don't do things that get in the way of their job. I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to Mr. Chanavere, and he's going to share a few specific thoughts about some very serious rules.
The following rules are considered the most serious and can result in a multiple-day suspension and/or an expulsion hearing. An expulsion hearing is where we contact our assistant superintendent and they set up a meeting to determine if you should stay in Heartland schools or not. Being expelled means you are no longer a student in Heartland and you must find another school to go to. So these are the things that can lead you there. These are the things that we need you to steer clear from. Fighting, which could include acts of pushing, pulling, tripping, engaging in behavior which is unsafe and or dangerous, and this includes food allergies. This includes pulling on backpacks or even joking physically between friends. It should not happen. Often that joking around ends up in someone getting hurt, and these suspensions will be enforced. We want the middle school to be a place where all students and adults treat one another with kindness and respect, regardless of our differences. We have amazing kids that come from all different types of backgrounds and beliefs. Treat others the way that you want to be treated. Outlined in School Board Policy 551710 may include, which is bullying, physical, verbal, psychological, like spreading rumors, intimidation, or social media posts. Bullying includes anything that creates a hostile learning environment. Those social media posts don't have to be necessarily on school grounds or during school time. They can be anywhere, at your home, in your bedroom, and if it messes around with our environment and our school learning time, then we will have to enact and investigate. Also, willful destruction and or defacement of school property. This is your school, the place that you will be every day. Make it a place you want to be, a place with clean classrooms, clean halls, clean bathrooms. It's a great place to learn. Help make it that way. Stealing, hiding, any other possession of stolen property. Often stealing may include police involvement. Anything with the sheriff's department goes on your record, not only in school, but out of school. And that record lasts with you the rest of your life. Controlled substances, the use, sale, or possession being under the influence of a chemical, that being any regulated, controlled, or illicit, or a psychoactive substance, or possession of a lookalike substance, or paraphernalia. Paraphernalia or the lookalike, anything that you're telling kids that, hey, I've got this in this bag and I want to sell it to you, or you're showing it, even if it is not that, and you're saying, hey, this crushed up stuff is this drug or this or that, that is considered under this policy, and we're going to deal with it the same way. The paraphernalia are the objects or things like pipes and things like that that go along with any of those drugs that you're using or could use. Use and or possession of tobacco and or things that go with it, including pipes, e-cigs or vapes, e-liquid and lookalikes. Appropriate authorities will be notified and a citation or ticket will be issued from the sheriff's department. Even having a cartridge that's in your bag or on yourself will be considered under this policy. Arson, I think, speaks for itself. Any willful intent to set a fire or bring an explosive device, falsely activating a fire alarm or initiating a cause to be initiated. Any false report of a threat to safety of the school, like a bomb threat, will have severe consequences of up to 180 days of suspension. Threatening the life of any person, a student or staff, verbally, physically, or in writing, including social media, is not tolerated. If someone is bothering you and you're getting frustrated, talk to someone. Make sure you're letting them know what is going on so that we can avoid these types of situations, as they are especially severe. Use and or possession of a dangerous weapon or illegal weapons. We shouldn't be bringing them to school. Make sure if you're with somebody over the weekend hunting or whatever the case may be, that you're getting these things out of your backpacks. Anything that even looks like it could be a threatening weapon, we deal with in a severe way, because we want our students to feel safe coming into school and know that they have a safe place to be. Striking a teacher or any school employee permitted by the building principal to be on the school premises. Any type of physicality between student to student or student to teacher is definitely not tolerated. We expect students to behave in a manner that doesn't take away from the education of yourself or others. You make the day each day and every day. Choose to make this a great year.